used to know the call and the answer. Now it's all static. Spinning out again like a siren with no street. Traffic circle in the same old heat. I throw my voice into the open air, but the one who trained me isn't there. Newsfeed, baptism, scroll and spill. Kind hands, tired, loud mouths, thrilled. Good people freeze when it's time to move. Bad people burn like they got something to prove. And I keep thinking maybe this is it. Maybe the sky is splitting at the seam, but nothing holy hits the ground, just the hum of a million machines. Something's coming, not with wings, not with hymns or hallelujahs. It's a heavy, slow arrival, like a door you didn't open but it swings. And I can feel it in the pavement. The center line is wearing thin. If this is a second coming, tell me, what are we letting in? I saw it in the desert on a cracked phone screen. Heat haze dancing where the road had been. A body built for tearing up the ground. A human face that never looked around. No anger, no mercy, no need to speak. Just moving like time on a tired week. Above it, birds in rough circles like they're arguing with the wind. And the signal drops, the whole world blinks, and I'm back in my kitchen sink. But the room feels older than it should, like a nursery turned bad neighborhood. Something's coming, not with wings, not with hymns or hallelujahs. It's a heavy, slow arrival, like a door you didn't open but it swings. And I can feel it in the pavement. The center line is wearing thin. If this is a second coming, tell me, what are we letting in? 20 lifetimes stacked like stones. We slept through wars in our own homes. A cradle rocked by the passing trains. A child laughs, then it changes names. I don't need prophecy, I don't need proof. I just hear the low step on the roof. Not a thief, worse, a new rule. Learning how to stand in our living room. Something's coming, not to save, not to judge, not to forgive us. It's a heavy, slow arrival with a calm, unblinking stare. And I can't call back what I started. I can't make the circle close. If this is a second coming, tell me why it chose us. Turning, turning, turning. I used to know the call. Now the line just rings and rings and falls. And falls. They asked me at the kitchen table why it's never just one thing. I've seen you laughing with your whole chest at some old photo on your phone, and going quiet like you heard something nobody else could have known. You think it's two different stories, one you post and one you hide, but it's the same room, same doorway, just a different way you walk inside. That grin didn't come from nowhere, it learned to shape of your face. Every good thing left a mark there, and you still keep its place. Joy and sorrow share a last name. You sign the same line on the page. If one's sitting with you at dinner, the other's just down the hall, off stage. So don't call it broken or backwards when it all shows up in one day. You're not split in two, you're just built to hold it that way. Think of a cup in a storefront window, clean rim, warm clay. It got that steady, simple beauty because it survived the heat that way. And the guitar in the corner, how it calms you when you can't sleep. It's wood that was cut and opened up to learn what it could keep. So when the good hits like a weather change, when you finally start to breathe, look closer at what's under it. It's what you couldn't keep. Joy and sorrow share a last name. They sign the same line on the page. If one's sitting with you at dinner, the other's just down the hall, off stage. So don't call it broken or backwards when it all shows up in one day. You're not split in two, you're just built to hold it that way. Some people swear the good is bigger, some people bet on the pain. But watch the scale when you're standing still, it doesn't stay that way. A hand lifts you like a coin jar, counting what you've saved and spent. And one side rises without warning, then the other pays its rent. So if you're shaking, you're human. If you're laughing, you're brave. Same well, different bucket, pulling up what it gave. Same cup, same flame. Same cup, same flame. In the haze of clinic lights, they mapped my fragile frame. Twisted paths of bone and breath, a child's unspoken claim. Hands that needed shadows deep, unraveling the knot. Miles on weary roads we chased for a freedom I forgot. Oh, the cloak she cast around me, shielding from the gale. I danced beneath its shelter, never seeing the veil. Years unfold the hidden seams, the storm she braved alone. My world stayed dry in her embrace, her sacrifice unknown. In the rearview mirror, appointments blur the day. Tunes on static waves, console as thunder claims away. A stranger's fleeting gesture, coat past and pouring rain, unlocks the vault of memories, her quiet endless strain. What dreams did she surrender. In the rhythm of the drive, whispers of her own lost past, keeping me alive. In every drop deflected, a story left untold, the fabric of her giving, woven threads of gold. The clothes she cast around me, shielding from the gale. I danced beneath its shelter, never seeing the veil. Years unfold the hidden seams, the storm she braved alone. My world stayed dry in her embrace. Her sacrifice under her Tempest silent I finally see, I count the steps, count the keys, count the patch of sky you're allowed to keep. He came in dressed like yesterday's weather, cheap gray suit, borrowed cap, pulled low, like he'd walked out of some ordinary trouble and into a place that doesn't let go. But his eyes, they stayed on the open air, like it could explain what hands can undo. He stared at the morning like it was water, and he'd been thirsty clear through. I heard it pass from mouth to mouth, no one looking up when they said his name. He's marked for the rope and the yard didn't change, but everything changed because everybody breaks what they cling to. Some with silence, some with a joke, some with pretty words that turn sharp on contact, some with a kiss, some with a choke. And we all keep breathing, we all go home, we still get the sun on our skin. But one man pays for the worst of it, where the floor drops out from under him. 6 weeks of circles, same dull gravel, same rules writing on our backs. Guards with clean boots and bored faces, counting bodies like sacks. He didn't beg, he didn't bargain, he didn't put on a holy show. He'd lift his chin and drink the morning like he could taste the life he used to know. Strange to watch a man walk easy when the calendar's ablaze. Strange to watch him wash the blue like it's something that can be saved. Because everybody breaks what they cling to. Some with silence, some with a joke, some with pretty words that turn sharp on contact, some with a kiss, some with a choke. And we all keep breathing, we all go home, we still get the sun on our skin. But one man pays for the worst of it, where the floor drops out from under him. There's no service when they do it, No comfort dressed in white, just keys that sing, just rubber soles moving through the early hours. A doctor checking time like numbers matter, a chaplain swallowing his lines, a governor in polished buttons pretending this is order, not a hunger. And in my cell I learned a new kind of fear, not mine, his. It climbed inside my ribs like cold metal, and every man I passed that morning looked up at the open air like he had never seen it once before. At noon they let us out different, like we'd earned a smaller world. Men with heads down, men with jaws set, men who couldn't swallow words. By the wall there was only fresh dirt, sand and lime, like a careless meal. No marker, no name, just the quiet of it, like God refused to feel. Because everybody breaks what they cling to. By all of us let it be known, some do it young, some do it slowly, some do it thinking they're alone. And most of us keep breathing, we all go home. We learn to live with what we did, but one man lies where the line keeps working, and the blue they let us borrow won't reach him. In Reading Town there's ground that won't grow, not because Earth is cruel, because we are. They sell little candy versions at the checkout line, glossy and perfect, something you can hold. Mine's just working overtime, a stubborn engine in a crooked box of bone. It doesn't blush, doesn't turn to sugar, doesn't fold when you stare, just keeps its shift like it's paid to be there. But at 3 a.m. it starts up again, a low knock through the mattress springs, a plain repeating sentence that refuses to sing. I want, not in a pretty way. I want, like a bruise you can't explain. And I've tried to be clever, tried to make it behave, but there's no latch, no secret button, no spare key in the place where I shake. So if you're gonna take what I'm giving, take the whole of me. I come attached to it, and it comes attached to me. I practice the lines in the mirror, the calm voice, the casual laugh. I wrote you a message, deleted it, wrote it again in halves. I can't pin this feeling to fabric, can't wear it like proof. I can't lay it out on the table and say, look, this is the truth. All I've got is the sound it makes when I get close to your name, that dull insistence, that animal thing. I want, not in a pretty way. I want, like a bruise you can't explain. And I've tried to be clever, tried to make it behave, but there's no latch, no secret button, no spare key in the place where I shake. So if you're gonna take what I'm giving, take the whole of me. I come attached to it, and it comes attached to me. And I'm tired of standing in its way. Put your hand where it lives. Feel how it never learns. No map, no manual, just the heat of the work it returns. I want, and I won't dress it up. I want, and I've had enough of tough. There's no key, no clean confession, no slogan to make it right. Only this body saying please, and a language of pulse and time. So if you're gonna take what I'm giving, take the whole of me. Like I'm attached to it, and it comes attached to me. Like I'm attached. I met you where the street light ends, where the city turns to open air. No vows yet, just two quiet breaths, learning how to share. They told us love is locking up the world, one key, one name, one plan. But you and I were born with different weather, different ways to stand. So we moved in with our separate corners, your books on your side of the bed, two mugs by the sink in the morning. Not one we pass back and forth instead. Hold my hand when the floor starts shaking, let me go when I need to run. Stay close enough to feel me smiling, far enough to still feel the sun. Leave some room in our together. Let the air come through. Love me like wide open water, not a rope tight to you. We can build a home with two front doors, two truths, one view. Come back to me, come back to you. Leave some room in our together. We share the table, not the same hunger. I won't wear your appetite. You can have your silence after work, I can take my drive at night. When the music finds the living room, we spin like we're 17. Then you step out onto the porch alone, and I let that space stay clean. I won't ask you to carry my fear or keep my peace on a shelf. If I lose my way, remind me gently I'm still allowed to be myself. Leave some room in our together. Let the air come through. Love me like wide open water, not a rope tight to you. We can build a home with two front doors, two truths, one view. Come back to me, come back to you, come back to you. Leave some room in our together. One day the calendars will stop and the house will learn a deeper quiet. If your name becomes a photograph I keep beside the bed, I'll still be trying to bless the distance that kept us kind, to thank the space that let us grow. Two pillars holding up the same roof, never leaning in to steal the other's load. Leave some room in our together. Let the air come through. Love me like a wide open water, not a rope tied to you. We can build a home with 2 front doors, 2 truths, 1 view. And when the years come scattering, I'll find you in what's left of blue. Leave some room in our together. Not 1 cup, not 1 loaf, just 2 hands still reaching. Not 1 life swallowed whole, just love still breathing. You showed up with winter in your hands. No reason, no warning. You left them on my table like a dare. 2 small loops of patience and time, wool still smelling faintly of clean grass. Like you've been out early, like you've been working through a hard week and still made room for this. I held them up to the lamp, stitched so close it looked like it could hold water. Not store-bought, perfect, better, human. I laughed at myself for getting quiet, for treating simple things like they can't save you. But my apartment was cold, and I've been acting tough about it. When I pulled them on my feet, stopped being just feet. They turned into something worth keeping, like 2 good secrets. 2 brave animals refusing the weather. And I thought, maybe that's love, not flowers, not speeches, just warmth that fits. I wanted to hide them away, the way kids trap lightning bugs in jars and swear they'll feed them sugar. I wanted to frame them, hang them like proof that somebody noticed me, down to the parts no one writes songs about. But life doesn't let you worship a gift, life makes you wear it. Walk in and spill coffee, miss the bus, keep going. So I did the brave, ordinary thing. I didn't save them, I used them. I let them get real when I pulled them on my feet. Stopped being just feet. They turned into something worth keeping, like 2 good secrets. 2 brave animals refusing the weather. And I thought, maybe that's love, not flowers, not speeches, just warmth that fits. I look down and hate in my cracked heels, the tired way I carry myself. Felt unworthy, like showing up underdressed to a kind person's dinner. But you don't make beautiful things for perfect people. You make them for the ones who've been standing too long. So I pulled them on and I laced up over them. Took your careful work out into the day. Beauty is better when it comes in pairs. Good is louder when it keeps you from freezing. And I you can actually use. If I ever forget what kindness is, I'll start at my ankles.
Clear the table, lock the door. If she's coming, we don't keep score.
Kitchen heat, late hour gospel from the vent. I'm rolling up my sleeves like I mean what I've spent. A thrift store suit, a bottle ring. I practice how to smile when the bad news sings. I salted the meat, I shaved the stem. Stole a cluster of grapes from the neighbor's fence. If you're gonna take me fed. Let the silver look decent, let the plates look red.
Bring the good bottle, the cheap cork pop. Bring a crooked poet and a Bluetooth box. Bring anybody who can clap on time.
Cause I'm tired of waiting in a quiet kind. Pour it up,
make it beat on the glass.
make it look like money even if it won't last. Bring on the band, bring on the mess. No pauses, no prayers, no second guess. Kiss me like a contract, final and clean. My new mistress in black denim jeans. If she wants me, I won't object. My lady death, my special guest.
Stay. I've seen her in the corner of a hospital hall. In the rear view blink when the freeway stalls. She don't rush, she don't brag, just taps her nails on the name tag. Friends say breathe like it fixes the math, like there's a refund for a broken path. So I set the room for a coming storm. Put ice in a bucket just to feel it form.
Bring the best story you ever told. Bring that laugh you save for when you're bold. Bring the ones who hate me, set them close. Let them watch me raise a toast.
Pour it up, make it beat on the glass.
Make it look like money even if it won't last. Bring on the band, bring on the mess. No pauses, no prayers, no second guess. Kiss me like a contract, final and clean. My new mistress in black denim jeans. If she wants me, I won't object. My lady death, my special guest.
No rotten breath, no scared goodbye. No someday, no alibi. If you're taking what's mine to take, at least let me choose the song I play. So turn the lights up,
Show the cracks,
let the candles smoke.
let the vinyl snap.
I'm not asking to be saved,
I'm asking to be brave. Pour it up, make it beat on the glass. Make it look like gold in a rusted goblet. Bring on the bar, bring on the rest. Let nothing stall this tenderness. Kiss me like a contract, final and clean. My new mistress, you know what I mean. If she wants me, I won't object. My lady death, my special guest.
special guests. Plates are set, doors unlocked. I'm ready.
Rain on the crosswalk pane, street lamp buzzing like a tired wire. Hold your breath, hold your breath. I saw a man at the corner store sign, his shoes soaked through, but he moved like glass. Look left twice, then right again, like the air itself could bruise what he had. A kid folded into his neck, small fist on the collar seam, and the city kept rushing past them like it never learned what quiet means. No sticker on his back that says easy, easy, don't shake. Just a hood, a heartbeat, and a careful kind of faith. If we don't carry each other like that, what are we doing here? can't slow down for someone's weight, someone's sleep, someone's fear, the lanes will keep getting wider and the water will stay in the air. So I'm learning in the rain, in the traffic, to handle you with care. On the bus I watch a girl text you up to a number she swore she'd delete. Her mascara's running in the window glare. She pretends it's nothing, stares at her feet. Across from her an old man holds a paper cup, hands trembling like he's cold from inside. Everybody's holding something breakable, and nobody gets a label for the ride. We act like being tough means never needing to be held, but the loudest people I know are scared of being felt. If we don't carry each other like that, what are we doing here? If we can't slow down for someone's weight, someone's sleep, someone's fear, the lanes will keep getting wider and the water will stay in the air. So I'm learning in the rain, in the traffic, to handle you with care. Maybe love is just a shoulder that doesn't flinch when the world leans in. Maybe it's checking the street twice, not because you're scared, because you're listening to breathing you didn't make, to a life you didn't earn, and still you keep it steady like it's your turn. Yeah, we have to carry each other like that, or we won't stay here. We have to slow down for someone's weight, someone's sleep, someone's fear, 'cause the road will keep getting wider and the water will stay in the air. So meet me out there under the streetlights, I'll handle you with care. Rain on the crosswalk paint, street lamp buzzing like a tired wire. Hold your breath, hold your breath. Bells, bells. December breath on the porch rail, white on my cuffs. I watch your car lights melt into the falling stuff. Down the hill the kids come flying, laughter in a rush. Little silver circles shaking loose the hush. They keep time on the wire fence, they keep time in my teeth. Tiny bright corrections to the way I breathe. And the whole street leans in like it knows what comes next, like joy can be a message that you hear in the cold. Tinkle tell, every small ring says hold on. Bells, bells, don't let go of me. Tell the truth, the weather hides. Bells, set it over me like a coat I can't outgrow. If love is just a sound we carry, let it carry me home. From the bells, 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 from the bells. Spring in the chapel hallway, perfume and wet hair, your dress pinned up with borrowed hands. Everyone pretending they're not Gold notes rolling off the door, slow honey in the air. We laugh too loud so no one hears the crack inside the prayer. Your mother's eyes are shining, mine are stuck on the floor. I'm thinking how a vow is just a key to a different war. But the band in the tower swings the moment into place, and for one bright minute I believe we're safe. Ring it true, ring it new, let the future open wide. Bells, bells, don't let go of me. Tell the truth, the weather hides. Bells, set it over me like a coat I can't outgrow. If love is just a sound we carry, let it carry me home. From the bells, 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 from the bells. Now it's sirens on the overpass, iron in my mouth, a building coughing smoke in the sky pressed down. People running in their socks, phones bright as little wounds, and that heart brazen shaking that won't find a tune. Clang, clash, too close, too fast, every ring a warning I can't outrun. Jangling in my ribs, swells and drops like panic doing push-ups on my lungs. Somebody's yelling names I don't know, somebody's praying like they owe, and the bells don't care. They just tell it, tell it, tell it. Later the town goes quiet in the way grief does. Street lights blink and even the dogs don't fuss. There's an old stone church at the edge of the tracks, where the rope burns hands and the sound burns back. A keeper up in the steeple, alone with his count, pulling on the minutes till they all run out. Not man, not woman, just working bone, turning loss into a signal, then sending it out. Bells, bells, lay it down on me, let it land where it lands. Bells, say it plainly, say what no one understands. If life is just a sound we carry, then they carry me through to the bells, 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 to the bells. Time, time, bells, bells, time, time, bells, 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 bells.
If you had one April here, he would have stopped writing letters to the wrong place. I read your name on a borrowed spine, coffee ring on the page. You were in Florence counting straight lines, missing hedges like a cage, trimmed little trees, polite little paths. Everything behaves, but April doesn't stand in Virginia. It runs off half the map, and I swear the air here argues back. Green shows up uninvited, every ditch is practicing music, and nobody tries to hide it. You should have been here when the dogwoods start, when the red buds pop like sparks in the yard, when the creek keeps time on the slick flat stone, and the pines make the whole road smell warm. No primrose, no perfect fence, just a riot that makes sense. If heaven's got a back porch swing, it's set somewhere like this in spring. Tourists want postcards, tidy views. I want mud on my shoes, I want basil on my fingers, fern dust on my cuffs. There's a heron in the lowland, there's a fox in the cut. Even the blue hills lean closer like they're listening to us. So I talk to you like you're not gone, like you were late and headed over, like you took one wrong train south and found the right kind of clover. You should have been here when the dogwoods start, when the redbuds pop like sparks in the yard, when the creek keeps time on the slick flat stone, and the pines make the whole road smell warm. No primrose, no perfect fence, just a riot that makes sense. If heaven's got a back porch swing, it's set somewhere like this in the spring. Maybe you're walking those back roads now, wine in the air, soft dirt underfoot, throat full of birds you never learned by name, laughing at what you used to miss. And maybe she meets you under the hazel, not as a story, not as a prize, just two old flames of language finally off the page, alive. No clipped use, no rules for the grass, just April doing what April does. You should have been here when the dogwood start, when the redbuds pop like sparks in the yard, when the creek keeps time on the slick flat stone and the pines make the whole road smell warm. Let the world stay squared away, we'll take the untrained green. If heaven's got a back porch swing, it's set somewhere like this in spring. Somewhere like this in spring. He walks like he's got time on his side, past the checkpoints and the paper walls. People talk like the rules are the tide, like a name can make a body fall. But he keeps his shoulders loose, eyes steady, like he's listening to something deep and old. Not asking for the door to open, just finding where the hinge will fold. They stack the signs, not for you, like they're building a weather system. He doesn't argue with the storm, he learns its rhythm. Let it rain, let it shake the street. He won't bow down, he won't retreat. When the sky gets loud, he starts to move. One step, then two, he's got proof that the world can't hold what he became. No lockgate can keep him names. Got his hands on the lever of tomorrow, and he's pulling. He's seen men grin with a loaded grin, seen hands that clutch at blood like a prize. He's learned how fear likes to dress up clean and call it self-order in a suit and tie. Still he looks past the noise of it, past the thirst, past the flags and the chance, like he can read what's coming in the way the old power starts to dance. They want him small, grateful, quiet, a good ghost in the background, but he stands where he stands and the room changes shape around him. Let it rain, let it shake the street. He won't bow down, he won't retreat. When the sky gets loud, he starts to move. One step, then two, he's got proof that the world can't hold what he became. No lockgate can keep him made. Got his hands on the liver of tomorrow, and he's pulling. I saw it on the courthouse steps, in the glass, in the marble, in the staring faces. A silent sentence on the wall, not written in ink, written in consequences. And he didn't flinch, no, he didn't freeze. He looked straight through the future, like it was his to meet. Powers they buried, woke up in his breathing. Let it rain, let it shake the street. He won't bow down, he won't retreat. When the sky gets loud, he starts to move. One step, then two, he's got proof he's pulling.
January on the window pane, the radiator clicking time. Your book is face down on the chair like it couldn't stand the room. You slipped out in the worst of winter, when even the bridges held their breath. Runways empty, phones still ringing, snow sitting hard on bronze and stone. The newsreader said it plain and small, like a train schedule, like a debt. And every instrument we trusted swore that day was built of cold. Outside the hospital, the city kept moving. Dogs pulled at leashes, headlights slid. The river didn't care about the new cafes. It carried on like it always did. And tomorrow will be loud again, with suits leaning into numbers, brokers shouting like they mean it, while the tired learn to suffer in order. A few thousand will remember, halfway between coffee and a meeting they can't miss, like something slightly strange they did once. And then the day will close its fist. And the day will close its fist. In his room, nurses, paper cups, a rumor, a clipboard with a careful line. His body turning into provinces, raising flags against his name. The squares of his mind went vacant, street lamps on in midday gray, feelings thinning out to weather until he matched the crowd that came. Now he scattered quotes in captions, a paragraph in someone's vow. Words get changed inside our mouths to fit the lives we're living now. And tomorrow will be loud again, with suits leaning into numbers, brokers shouting like they mean it, while the tired learn to suffer in order. A few thousand will remember, halfway between coffee and a meeting they can't miss, like something slightly strange they did once. And then the day will close its fist. And the day will close its fist. You were foolish like the rest of us. You loved the wrong rooms, the wrong praise. You waged in public, paid for it. Still you left a way to say, a country can bruise you into singing and keep its reign the same. Poetry doesn't stop the engines, it survives the heat of them. It lives where bosses never look, in break rooms and late buses home. In raw towns we swear are temporary, in the mouth that won't stay closed. Earth, make room for an honored guest. Let him down without a show. Let the vessel lie emptied, let the ink go where it goes. Europe's dogs are up and barking, nations locked inside their hate, pity frozen in the stare of eyes that don't know how to wait. So follow, poet, go on, past the last door we can't open, and with your untying voice teach us joy without a token. Plant a vineyard in our curse with the plain work of a verse. Sing the ways we don't succeed and make it something we can bear. In the desert of the chest, let a small clean water start. In the prison of our days, teach the free to learn to praise. mitra in the doorway, hand still on the frame, says tell me what's waiting, say it like a name. You smile like you've been there, like you never left. And I'm standing in my kitchen with the radio confessing. You say if you want answers, don't chase them in the grave. Go look for them when morning spills into the day. Some eyes are built for midnight and they miss the open street. You can't learn what ending means if you won't learn how to breathe. So I open all the windows, let the traffic in, let the basil on the counter do its green stubborn thing. If life is a buddy, I'm trying to come home, not bracing for the leaving, just letting it be known. 'Cause life and death hold hands like water to the ocean, not enemies, just motion. I'm scared but I can feel it, the fear is only shaking, like someone being called in. And when the last door opens, I won't be disappearing, I'll be changing what I'm carrying. I used to think the end was a cold and narrow room, a stopped up conversation, an unfinished tune. But under all my wanting, under every borrowed plan, there's a quiet kind of knowing I don't understand. Like seeds under the snowfall, waiting without a sound. Something in me is patient, something in me looks up. You say trust what pulls you forward when you can't explain the pull. There's a gate in that strange softness, there's a yes inside the null. And my fear of death is simple, it's a body doing math, counting every little loss like it can bargain with the path. But what if it's an audience with a hand upon my head, an honor that I tremble for, still wanting to be led? 'Cause life and death hold hands like water to the ocean, not enemies, just motion. I'm scared but I can feel it, the fear is only shaking, like someone being called in. And when the last door opens, I won't be disappearing, I'll be changing what I'm carrying. What is dying but standing out, where the weather tells the truth? No pockets, no performance, no armor, no excuse. What is ending breath but letting it unhook from all its frantic tides and all the corners it mistook? Let it rise past my ribcage, past my need to stay in place. Let it find what it was after without my name in the way. Only when I drink the silence, I finally learn the song. And when I reach the summit, I find the road goes on. Not enemies, just motion. I'm scared but I can feel it, the fear is only shaking, like someone being called in. And when the earth can claim me, I won't be disappearing, I'll be moving without carrying. When the earth can claim my limbs, I'll learn a different dance. Not a goodbye, just distance.
said clear all week. I believed it. That afternoon ran overexposed, blue like a brand new screen. The daisies by the bus stop looked scrubbed and sharp and clean. You laughed with your mouth full of sunlight, said see it's done, it's fine. I nodded like I own the future, like I could read the signs. I swear I felt the world click shut, a perfect little frame. No more heavy water in the air, no more weather with your name. I knew nothing bad could get through. No gray would stick to the sky, no goodbye would come true. But if the forecast turns on me and the street lamps burn too soon, I keep a daisy in a paperback for when the room needs proof. Now it's raining on the fire escape, making coins of every drop. And my neighbor's playing something sad through a thin apartment wall. Scroll past everyone's good news, I rinse a cup that's clean, and still it'll all be easy. Hangs up in my kitchen sink, the sky can cry in lowercase all day without a break. And I can act like I don't care, but my hands remember anyway. I knew nothing bad could get through. No gray would stick to the sky, no goodbye would come true. But if the forecast turns on me and the street lamps burn too soon, I keep a daisy in a paperback for when the room needs proof. Just a brittle little thing, pressed flat under coffee rings and old movie ticket stubs. When the power flickers, I light a candle, watch the paper take its gold, and I hold that summer still without pretending it can hold. Yeah, I knew, I was so sure about you. I thought blue stay blue forever, thought white stay bulletproof. So if the rain comes hard again and my thoughts won't quiet down, I open up that paperback and let that daisy talk. Dead and dry, but it happened. It happened. Hold still, listen close. Not small, not polite. It's the bus breaks coughing at sunrise, cheap coffee on a teacher's breath, lockers arguing in the hallway, and sneakers that don't know how to quit. Latanya with the chipped blue nails, Kadesha counting change for lunch, Shaniqua laughing like she means it, Antoine with a book bag split at the seams, Daryl's running late again, Shaquille's hoodie pulled up high, and every name is a whole sky trying to fit inside a roll call. They move like water where there shouldn't be water, finding a way through concrete rules. And if you lean in, you can hear it, all that living breaking through. This is not a small voice you hear, it's a city in the lungs. It's the corner store, the bus stop, it's 1,000 unsung ones. No gravestone lines in their mouths, they spit out futures instead. This is
not a small voice you hear. There's a guidance office with tired posters, belief taped up since '09. There's a substitute misreading last names and a kid correcting him kindly. There's a mom with hands worn down to the truth, still braiding hope into hair. There's a grandma praying over math homework like numbers might finally be fair. And love is not a greeting card word here. It's a ride to school when the car won't start. It's showing up, it's staying late. It's learning somebody's pain by heart. It kisses, learning right on the face, smudges it with real life. It says try again in the same breath. It says I've survived. This is not a small voice you hear. It's a city in the lungs. It's the corner store, the bus stop. It's 1,000 on someone's, no gravestone lines in their mouths. They spit out futures instead. This is not a small voice you hear. They fold the little ones into the story, so nobody falls out the page. They chew on the bones of the alphabet, taste every letter like change. They break open tight closed sounds, make room for yes and I can. Black genius written in notebook margins, pressed into palms, passed hand to hand, iron and lace, soft and unbendable, warmth with a spine. This is not a small voice you hear. It's a city in the lungs. It's the stairwell, the playground. It's where tomorrow comes from. No epitaphs in their mouths. They sing through the fear instead. This is not a small voice you hear. Not small, not finished, still here. I found your name on a hospital band, folded in an old coat pocket next to a bus transfer, faded ink and a key that fits nothing now. Outside, the city does what it does. Sirens, dishes, someone learning drums. Inside, I count the ways we change without asking how. There are mornings that open like a hand, and mornings that won't. I'm trying to let them both be true. There's a time to come in, time to let go, time to hold on when the floor feels slow, time to bury what you can't repair, time to stand up and leave it there, time to fall apart, time to make amends, time to turn your face back towards your friends. If the world keeps spinning either way, I'll learn its seasons day by day. Community garden off 9th, we pressed small seeds into April, laughed at our hands full of dirt like we were allowed to start again. Then July came hot and unforgiving, tomatoes split on the vine. We pulled what lived, we cut what didn't. No one called it unkind. Some things need breaking to come loose, some things need stitches, some doors need closing to hear yourself think. There's a time to come in, time to let go, time to hold on when the floor feels slow, time to bury what you can't repair, time to stand up and leave it there, time to fall apart, time to make amends, time to turn your face back towards your friends. If the world keeps spinning by day. I watched you pack a box in silence, tape drawn tight across the flaps. You didn't curse, you didn't bless it, just carried it down the stairs on the sidewalk. We didn't touch, not because love ran out, but because sometimes love is giving someone space to breathe. There's a day for speaking plain, a day for biting back, a day for keeping the peace at dinner, a day you finally say what happened, a day you learn the shape of grief, a day it lifts like fog, a day you stop rehearsing endings and make a call. There's a time to be made, time to be unmade, time to lay down every weapon you raised, time to gather up what you threw away, time to forgive yourself for yesterday, time to start a fire, time to put it out, time to choose your yes, time to choose your doubt. And when the world turns mean or kind, I'll meet it when it comes, one season at a time. The ground remembers everything, even when we act like it never spoke. I met the morning on a freeway shoulder, coffee gone cold in a paper cup. A semi passed like a moving thunder, and I watched the sun pull the zipper up on the edge of a new day. Down in the cut where the city ends, there's a slab of stone by the river bend, with old names scratched in and worn back out, like the world keeps trying to learn how to say it again. And it said, stand here, go on, stand tall, but don't ask me to cover you. Don't duck your face when the truth gets close. You've been down too long, you're bruised from it too. So lift your chin into the wind, let the air hit every part you hide. We can't undo what we did back then, but we don't have to do it twice. If you wanna start where you stand, with your hands open, empty, playing good morning stranger, good morning friend, call your own name. The river warring of bottles, plastic petals, oil slick shine. It kept on singing through the trouble like it didn't take it personal. Just tired of our lies, it said come sit. No flags, no fences, no winning, no losing, no keeping score. Leave the talk that loads the rifles, leave the math that makes the poor. Come learn a different kind of language, one that doesn't need a war. And I thought about my father's anger and my mother's swallowed pride, and every headline I kept scrolling like it was safer than going outside. So lift your chin into the wind, let the air hit every part you hide. We can't undo what we did back then, but we don't have to do it twice. If you wanna start where you stand, with your hands open, empty, playing good morning stranger, good morning friend, call your own name. There's room at the bank for everybody. for the taped up shoes and the tailored suit, for the ones who pray in a quiet kitchen, for the ones who can't but still mean to. I hear it in a dozen accents, and laughter breaking through a cough, in a teacher's tired patience, and a kid who won't be bought. And the tree by the water keeps saying, root here, don't run. You were paid for, you're not a debt. You belong to the day you're living, not the day you can't forget. So I called my sister before work. Didn't fix it, didn't make it neat. Just told her I was sorry for the long stupid distance I've been keeping in my teeth. And later when the sun hit full on cracked concrete and quiet doors, I saw my neighbor in the hallway, and I nodded like a person who wants to be better than before. Lift your chin into the wind, let it find you where you hide. We can't unlive the damage, no, but we can meet it eye to eye. If you wanna start, start where you stand. Put down the blade, unclench your fist. Good morning, stranger. Good morning, friend. We're still here, make something of this. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. The kitchen clock kept breathing like it didn't know your name. I watched the hospice candle bend and stand up straight again. Your mother pressed a clean black dress into my shaking hands, and I kept staring at the door like you might still come in. They said, be calm, be grateful, like grief can be polite. But the room felt full of judgment, and it's Sunday best disguise. Don't ring the bell for her, don't drag her back by sound. If there's a river we can't cross, let it carry her out. And if you wanna blame somebody, say my name, say it loud, just don't ring the bell for her. Don't ring the bell now. Your friends spoke soft in clusters, trading stories like loose change. Such a shame they kept repeating, never once said what you gave. They loved you when you hosted, when the wine was always warm, then praised the slow declining like it proved their prayers were true. I saw the way their eyes would land on jewelry and on skin, like they were taking inventory of everything you'd been. Don't ring the bell for her, don't drag her back by sound. If there's a river we can't cross, let it carry her out. And if you wanna blame somebody, say my name, say it loud, just don't ring the bell for her. Don't ring the bell now. I leaned in close, your hair still held the life of afternoon, but your eyes were past the ceiling, past the town, past the room. I wanted some Latin comfort, some it right. But all I had was breathing and the bruise of holding tight. You went ahead, hope rode with you, and I stayed here, unfinished. Guide of air in a borrowed suit, I stood up from the pew. I said, keep your careful mercy, keep your sermon like a rule. She doesn't need your pageantry, your measured holy tone. She was more than what you envied. Leave her finally alone. So raise a song that isn't heavy, let it open like a hand. Send her up the way she lived, unafraid to take a stand. Don't ring the bell for her, let laughter be the sound. Let the air be full of her as it lifts her from the ground. And if there's a king of heaven, let him meet her at the door. No bell, no borrowed grieving. She's not yours anymore. No bell, no bell. Found you where the pines keep their secrets, where the ground stays cold and clean. You fit in my arms like a houseplant, like something meant to stay green. Did you flinch when they chose you? Did the forest feel you go? If you miss the hush of that place, you don't have to say so. Come on, come closer, I'm here, I'm steady, I'm slow. I'll warm up the room around you, so you don't have to be brave alone. Little tree, don't shake, I won't let the world be too much. I'll press my lips to your cool skin, hold you like a promise, not a rush. And if you're scared of all this looking, all this sudden inside glow, little tree, stay with me, we'll make a home out of snow. There's a box on the top shelf waiting, all year it learns how to wait. Paper stars and worn out ribbons, tiny hooks and a bit of faith. Red glass bulbs like small planets, gold chains slipping through my hand. I'll hang them like quiet sentences you can finally understand. Put up your little branches like you're reaching for the sun. Every tip gets its own small circle, no corner left undone. Little tree, don't shake, I won't let the world be too much. I'll press my lips to your cool skin, hold you like a promise, not a rush. And if you're scared of all this looking, all this sudden inside glow, little tree, stay with me, we'll make a home out of snow. My sister's in the doorway spinning socks that slide on the floor. She asked if you can see us, if you miss what you had before. So we dim the kitchen, keep the silence, let the window do what it does. People slow down on the sidewalk, their faces soft behind the glass. Little tree, don't shake, let them stare, let them take their time. You're wearing all our borrowed gold and you're doing fine. We'll take hands, we'll turn in circles, two kids and a trembling Noel. And you'll stand there, dressed in bravery, like you were always meant to tell Noel. Noel, little tree. Little tree. The sink's been coughing up the same old water for a week. I keep meaning to fix it, keep forgetting what I need. There's a chemical bite in the air from under the cabinet, and a leaning tower of plates I pretend I don't see. I scroll past the plumber's number like it's someone I should call. Like if I touch the screen too long, something might fall apart. It's ordinary, it's messy, it's everything we talked about when we still had time to waste on making plans. And it's winter again, that hard blue sky that won't apologize. The heater runs like it's trying to prove something. So I crack the window and let the cold in, just to feel alive. This is what the living do. Spill coffee down their sleeves and keep moving. Break a grocery bag in the street. Pick up oranges like prayers you don't finish. Lock the car, slam the door, breathe in steam, and still want more than they can hold. This is what the living do. And I remember you. I'm late in that small way that makes you hate your own name. Dodging cracked sidewalk bricks that wobble under my boots. My phone buzzes, another reminder I swore I'd set for myself. Another don't forget that I already did. I buy a hairbrush I don't love from a drugstore. I'll stand there deciding between cheap and cheaper, and it hits me like a truth so plain it's almost rude. This is it, not the headline version. The parking lot and receipts, the half-zipped coat, the dry hands, the dumb little errands that keep the day stitched together. What you used to call yearning, the thing that reached past every good thing we got. What you laid down one day, finally tired of carrying it, I still reach. This is what the living do. Wait for a text, then hate themselves for waiting. Hope for spring like it's a deal somebody promised. Want a letter, a kiss aside, want the phone to ring but not a ring, and both can hurt. This is what the living do. And I remember you. Sometimes walking past the corner store glass, I catch myself by accident. Hair blown sideways, face raw from the wind, coat open because I run warm, or I don't know how to close myself. And I'm grabbed by this fear, stubborn breath for a triumph. I can't speak for a second. I'm here, I'm here. This is what the living do. Turn the heat too high, crack the window. Keep one hand on the wheel and one on what's missing. Carry love like a key, you can't stop checking for. And in the middle of all this, dishes, streets, small repairs, I feel it, sharp and simple. I am living. I remember you. I remember you. In 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. I used to measure mornings by the miles on the track. 10 laps, clean towel, hair still wet on my back. A small mirror, bigger grin, you're fine in my mouth. Call home, talk fast, hide the shake in my breath. A list on the fridge like a prayer I can do. Eat right, rest well, don't make a scene. Kiss soft, be careful, keep it sweet. If love is a fire, don't get burned. Then a sore throat that wouldn't quit, and a flu that learned my name. Little hard knots under my jaw, like buttons I couldn't unfasten. Breathe in, breathe out, stay with me. Hold the air like it owes you something. Breathe in, breathe out, count with me. If my body turns straighter, don't let it take my voice. I'm not ready to be filed away. I'm not ready to be reduced to noise. Breathe in, breathe out, stay with me. Blood work on a Tuesday, fluorescent hum. Numbers on the screen like cold weather forecast. Red running thin, white falling off. Doctor talks careful, like words can bruise. I buy oranges I can't taste. Wear a sweater in summer, still feel cold. Short steps to the corner store. Come back like I climbed a mountain. And the sheets get soaked for no good reason. Dry cough like a door that won't stop slamming. Loose days, loose plans, weight dropping like phone calls in a tunnel. Breathe in, breathe out, stay with me. Hold the air like it owes you something. Breathe in, breathe out, count with me. If my body turns straighter, don't let it take my voice. I'm not ready to be filed away. I'm not ready to be reduced to noise. Breathe in, breathe out, stay with me. Get mad, fight back, so I try. I circle dates on calendars I can't keep. Don't cry, I tell my own hands as they shake. Open another bottle, another receipt. No sex, eat right, rules on repeat. Call home, talk slow so they don't hear me pant. I practice smiling in the hallway glass, like I'm still the person I meant to be. White rooms, blackout, come and go. Head too hot, feet too cold. Cat scan, chin up, there it is again. That script I can't rewrite. In, out, in, no air, in, no like it's a door I can still walk through. Breathe in, breathe out, stay with me. If time is waiting in the corner, I won't go quiet. 6 months, 3 weeks, today, tonight. I can't control the clock, but I can choose the fight. Sweetheart, don't stop. Breathe in, breathe out. In, 2, 3, out. Out, 2, I don't need your bottles lined up like soldiers on a shelf. I've got a kind of drunk that doesn't come from hurting myself. A sip of sky off the fire escape, the city humming low, pearl on the lip of a morning glass. Watch how it overflows. I'm buzzing on the clean wind, I'm tipsy on the heat, barefoot on a rooftop, tar that's still warm under my feet. And every time I try to name it, it slips right through my hands, like laughing with my head thrown back in someone else's land. They say, come down, come back, be careful girl, but I'm already gone. I've got my mouth to the weather and my balance leaning wrong. I taste the liquor never brewed, no bar on any street. It's summer in my bloodstream, it's honey on my teeth. Let them lock up all their glasses, let them call it too much fun. I'll still be the small tippler, leaning into the sun. Leaning into the sun. The big eye cut off early, tossed out of a foxglove room. The landlord of the garden said, that's it, closing soon. Butterflies fold up their party, shake the sugar from their sleeves. They trade their little paper cups for quiet for the leaves. But I'm not done, no, I'm not done. There's more air where that came from. I'll drink the last gold off the day till the day is all but gone. And if you catch me talking to the blue above the power lines, I'm not praying, I'm just listening, yeah, I'm doing fine. The world keeps counting limits like it's holy, like it's true. But every door they shut on me turns into open sky to move through. I taste a liquor never brewed, no bar on any street. It's summer in my bloodstream, it's honey on my teeth. Let them lock up all their glasses, let them call it too much fun. I'll still be the small tippler, leaning into the sun. Someday the clean ones in their windows will press the palms to the pane, watching me sway like a candle that won't go out in the rain. And up above the rooftops, white hats and high air swing, yeah, as if the whole bright heaven can't help but look at me. I taste a liquor never brewed from nowhere you can name. It makes my lungs feel larger, it sets my hair on flame. When every garden closes and every wild thing's done, I'll still be the small tippler, leaning into the sun. The weather can have the whole world, just not this room. The roof keeps arguing with the ocean, boards flexing like they wanna run. I pull the curtain, hold my breath. You sleep like you don't owe it anyone. Outside the trees are bent in court, the bridge is taking water, taking blame. And I keep pacing out a prayer. I never learned to say the same. I've seen what beauty can demand, how it turns a face into a job. So I'm asking for the kind that lets you laugh and still be kind when you've been wronged. Let her be lovely, but let it be easy. Not a weapon, not a price. Let her grow roots where the days feel steady. Let her learn her own good life. When the wind comes loud with its big opinions, let it burn itself out on the sea and leave her here, a green laurel, safe enough to be free. There's a girl in every magazine who learns too young what stairs can do, trading quiet for performance just to keep the room's approval true. And there are men who fall in love with shine, then punish you for all it cost, like you promised them a summer and it turned and got them lost. So give her friends who tell the truth, who don't confuse applause with care. Give her a love that shows up early, hands clean, steady in the air. Let her be lovely, but let it be easy. Not a weapon, not a price. Let her grow roots where the days feel steady. Let her learn her own good life. When the wind comes loud with its big opinions, let it burn itself out on the sea and leave her here, a green laurel, safe enough to be free. I'm scared of the anger that sounds like certainty, the kind that calls itself being right. I've watched it empty a full table, turn a warm mouth cold overnight. So teach her to doubt the loudest voice, to step back when the room turns mean, to know the sweetest strength is staying soft without getting torn between. May her thoughts be small bright birds that don't belong to anyone's cage, singing over ordinary mornings, turning chores into a page, where mercy isn't weakness and manners aren't a mask, just the daily way we carry love without announcing what we ask. Let her be lovely, but let it be easy. Not a trophy, not a dare. Let her find a home with simple rituals, familiar steps on worn out stairs. When the world sells rage down every sidewalk, let her pass it like a stranger's plea and leave her here, a green laurel, rooted deep, happy still and free. The storm can have its theater, you keep your sleep. I keep my mouth shut like a church at noon, while the radio counts bodies in another room. The wind drags its hand across the grasslands like it's checking for fever. Dust on the roadside, a red-stained can, a kid's shoe with no owner. They call it a clearing, call it a plan, call it keeping order, but it looks like a bedroom turned inside out, and the sheets won't come clean with water. Men in offices circle words with pens, and the numbers behave, but nobody can add up what it does to the small, soft face. Don't ask me to choose like it's easy, like picking a code for rain. My tongue learned present one language, my blood remembers another name, and I can't stand still in the doorway while the ground keeps taking in pain. If I turn from it, I'm not living. If I look at it, I'm changed. There's a picture on my phone from a cousin, palm trees, bright sky, tourists smiling. Behind the frame, the dogs are howling like they know what's coming. Out on the plain, the birds lift up white wings in dirty weather. They've been doing that since the first fires, before we called ourselves better. They say it's nature, teeth and chase, so don't pretend you're surprised. But we stand upright, we make rules and break them with open eyes. Don't ask me to choose like it's easy, like picking a side in a game. My tongue learns songs in one language, my skin holds both kinds of blame, and I can't be cool at the headline when a child can't sleep in the same. If I turn from it, I'm not living. If I look at it, I'm changed. I watch a uniform stagger past midnight, laughing like nothing can touch him. I've heard the old men talk about peace with a mouth full of gun smoke, and I've watched boys made into soldiers by hunger and somebody's promise. Tell me, what do I do with love when it's built on a fence and a passport? Some days I wanna burn the whole story, write myself out of the chapters, but the letters taste like home to me, even when they cut like laughter. So I carry it both sides of the blade, in a body that won't divide, and every time I try to speak it plain, I swallow a little pride. Don't ask me to choose like it's easy, I'm split right down to the vein. I wanna call out the drunken ruler and still keep the words that remain. Betray them both, give back what they've given. There's no clean trade for this pain. If I turn from it, I'm not living. If I look at it, I'm changed. The wind keeps moving across the grasslands, like a hand that won't stop checking, like a warning nobody's learned to hold without breaking. Hold still. Late September on my sleeves, air like damp linen, apples in the trees. The sun takes its time coming down the lane, like it's got nowhere else to be again. Vines climb the eaves heavy with their own perfume. Every porch step smells like something good too soon. Bees in the asters, drunk on what's still here, acting like summer's not leaving this year. And I don't correct them, I let them believe. I let the day lean right into me. Stay a little longer, season on the brink. Fill the cups, let the wild things drink. If spring was a shout, you're a steady hum. You don't beg for attention, you just come. And everything ripens when you breathe. Even me. I found you in the grain shed, bare feet on the floor, dust in your hair from the open door. You didn't move when the wind came through, like you were listening for something it knew. Half-cut fields, sickle laid down in straw, poppies on the edge like a quiet flaw. You slept the way the earth sleeps, unafraid, letting the work wait, letting the gold stay. And I walked past the furrows, soft as a vow, trying not to wake you, trying not to ask how. Stay a little longer, season on the brink. Fill the cups, let the wild things drink. If spring was a shout, you're a steady hum. You don't beg for attention, you just come. And everything ripens when you breathe. Even me. Where do the bright songs go? I used to chase them down the street. Now the barred clouds bruise the afternoon, and it's still sweet. Gnats spin over the river, willows rising, falling on a thin breeze. Lambs call from the high field fence like they're naming what they need. Crickets start up on the porch boards. A small red bird tries out his tune, and swallows stitch the open sky like they've got somewhere to be soon. By the cider press you watched it run, slow as honey, last of the sun. Hour by hour, the drop by drop, like you can't rush where you can't stop. I took my hands from my pockets then, let the cold in, let it happen. Some goodbyes don't need a scene, they just turn the world more clean. Stay a little longer, season on the brink. Fill the cups, let the wild things drink. If spring was a shout, you're a steady hum. You don't beg for attention, you just come. And everything ripens when you breathe. Even me. Season mists, don't hurry. I drove past the edge of town, where the billboards end, where the earth stays quiet and the fences bend. A field of red caught fire in the wind, not planted, not tended, just showing up again. White stones in rows like unfinished lines, names worn thin by weather and time. Above it all, small birds still try, singing like they don't know why. And I stood there with my hands in my pockets, like I could keep the past from moving. But the air had that metal taste, and the distance kept on booming. If you're listening from under this ground, I'm listening back, no sound, no crown, just a vow I'm trying to learn to keep. Don't trade away what it cost you to leave. I'll carry it steady, I'll carry it clean. I won't call it glory, I'll call it a need. Let the poppies have their say in the wind. I won't forget, I won't forget. clip on a feed, someone shouting pick a side, someone begging believe. And I thought of a letter with mud in the fold, hands that shook but wouldn't let go. You had a life, you were halfway through, morning coffee, a coat by the door, someone waiting with the light left on, then the train, then the uniform, then the war. Now we argue like it's sport, like it doesn't spill into streets. But I saw those rows and rows, and they looked like receipts. If you're listening from under this ground, I'm listening back, no sound, no crown, just a vow I'm trying to learn to keep. Don't trade away what it costs you to leave. I'll carry it steady, I'll carry it clean. I won't call it glory, I'll call it a need. Let the poppies have their say in the wind. I won't forget, I won't forget. They handed me a small flame in the shape of a story, not to worship the fire, just to stop it from taking us. So when the anger gets easy and the truth feels cheap, I'll hold to the hard parts, the promises we keep. If you're listening from under this ground, I'm listening back, no sound, no crown. I'll speak your names like a steady beat, not for the past so we don't repeat. I'll carry it steady, I'll carry it clean. I won't call it glory, I'll call it a need. Let the poppies have their say in the wind. I won't forget, I won't forget. Between the rows, the red flowers bend, and the birds keep singing anyway. I tried to learn the peace of staying, it never took. The kettle sings, the fire behaves, same chair, same worn out view. I sign my name to small decrees for people I can't get through. They stack their grain, they lock their doors, they count the weather by the week. And I'm a story in their mouths, but not the man they ever meet. I was built for moving on, I can't pretend this room is home. I've had my share of good and ruin, laughed with friends, bled out alone. I've watched the sea go mean and sudden, rain coming sideways, canvas groaning. And every time I thought I'd seen it all, something past the line kept pulling. So if the map ends, let it end. I'm not here to turn to rust. Let the water take its payment, I'll pay it back in stubbornness. If there's a door at the edge of the world, I want my hand on the frame. I'm still the kind of person who leaves before the leaving feels safe. My son's downstairs, steady hands, quiet eyes that don't chase storms. He'll smooth the rough parts of this island, keep the wheat fields straight and warm. He knows knows the names of every neighbor. He'll fix what breaks, he'll make it right. He's good at staying, I'm not. We love each other, that's the line. I'll tend the house, the old traditions, put the papers in their place, and I will take this restless body back to the open face away. So if the map ends, let it end. I'm not here to turn to rust. Let the water take its payment, I'll pay it back in stubbornness. If there's a door at the edge of the world, I want my hand on the frame. I'm still the kind of person who leaves before the leaving feels safe. There's a dock where the boards remember boots, a boat breathing hard against the rope. My crew, my old troublemakers, smile like they already know. We've taken thunder like a joke, we've taken sunlight like a dare. Yeah, we're older, that doesn't mean we're done. The town turns on its window lamps, one by one along the rock. The day gives up, the moon clocks in, the ocean talks and doesn't stop. Push off, sit down, hold the line, cut the water into rows, past the last gold spill of evening, past the cold wash of the stars, until my hands forget the throne, till my lungs learn something larger. Maybe we don't make it back, maybe the sea takes what it takes, maybe we find a shoreline where the old fighters drink and laugh, and the ghosts we've carried finally set their gear down in the sand. So if the map ends, let it end. I'm not here to turn to dust. There's still a piece of me that won't sit quietly and call it enough. Though time has trained up my soul down, it hasn't touched our aim. To try, to search, to learn and not to fold. Not today. If the map ends, let it end. I found your name in the grain of the wood behind a door that won't shut right. Like someone tried to leave in a hurry but stayed here every night. The mailbox holds a fistful of nothing, the porch still leans like it knows, and the hinges sing when the wind comes through, like a habit you can't outgrow. You carved a sentence where no one would look, under the ribs, under the skin. Not a confession, not a promise, just proof you'd been. You wrote on the inside of you, like an address you can't forget. Someone lived here once and it's true, but they're not finished leaving yet. Now you sit with the TV on low, for a room that doesn't need sound, trying to warm your hands on a heat that won't hold, in a house that's not around. The kitchen clock is missing its minute hand, still it keeps on time somehow. And your coffee goes cold in your fingers while you stare at the sink and count all the little ways we disappear, with our shoes still by the bed, breathing in, breathing out, like we're practicing being dead.
You don't cry, you don't call, you don't ask for a thing. You just watch the wallpaper lifting like it wants to leave the room you're in. You wrote on the inside of you like an address you can't forget. Someone lived here once and it's true, but they're not finished leaving yet. Now you sit with the TV on low for a room that doesn't need sound, trying to warm your hands on a heat that won't hold in a house that's not around. Maybe it's safer to be untouchable, to want nothing and need no one. But I see you flinch when the phone lights up, like you still hope someone comes. So let me say it plain in the doorway, you don't have to haunt your own life. You can open a window, let the air in, let the morning find you alive. Don't write on the inside of you like you're only a warning sign. You can tear down that old inscription, you can change the line. Turn the stove on, let it click and catch, let the kettle finally sound. Let your hands learn real warmth again in a home you're building now. Let the morning find you alive.
I was running late again, coffee on my sleeve, head down on the sidewalk trying not to breathe. And the rain quit arguing with the afternoon, and the whole street looked up like it remembered how a small kid pressed his face against the bus stop glass, pointing like it mattered, like the world could last. I followed his finger and there it was, 7 quiet colors holding up the town. And I felt it in my ribs, the old familiar jolt, like my chest forgot its job and turned to summer for a moment. Somewhere in me, the kid still knows how to stop the spinning and just stand close. If it finds me now, it can find me when I'm worn. Let it meet me at the end, the way it met me when I was born. Keep my days stitched one to the next by simple things I can't explain. If I ever lose my way, pull me back again with a rainbow after rain. Called my mother on the walk back home. She said I saw it too, like it wasn't my own. We laughed about the years that went fast and strange, how you blink and you're the one giving out advice. On my counter there's a photo from a 2nd grade play, cardboard crown, missing tooth, I still know that face. Sometimes she looks at me when I lie awake, like don't make it harder than it is, just be alive. And I felt it in my ribs, that stubborn little spark, not magic, not a miracle, just proof I'm not too far gone. Somewhere in me, the kid still knows how to stop the spinning and just stand close. If it finds me now, it can find me when I'm worn. Let it meet me at the end, the way you met me when I was born. Keep my days stitched one to the next by simple things I can't explain. If I ever lose my way, pull me back again with a rainbow after rain. When When I'm older and my hands forget their strength, when names slip out like keys through a crack in the sink, stay with me. Not as a sermon, not as a rule, just the clean, honest habit of being moved. Let the child I was take my face in her hand, say look up and mean it. Somewhere in me, the kid still knows how to stop the spinning and just stand close. So be it when I'm older, so be it if I'm gone. Let wonder be the thread that I'm hanging on. Keep my days stitched one to the next by simple things I can't explain. If I ever lose my way, pull me back again with a rainbow after rain. After rain. Your feet on the floorboards keep time with my doubt. Your eyes don't blaze like headlines in the sun. They're more like weather when the day is done. Your lips aren't stop sign red, they're coffee warm, and I still lean in like it's some kind of harm. Your skin isn't snow, it's weekday, real and live, the kind that shows the places you've forgiven. Your hair, no silk ad, no glossy parade, just dark loose strands that never quite behave. I've seen the painted roses in the store, perfect as a promise on a greeting card, but you don't come with petals stapled on. You show up as you are, and that's the point, that's the pull. No fairy tale, no pedestal. You walk right through the kitchen in your socks, and the world can keep its polished pretty talk. By heaven, you're the rarest kind I've known, not made to match a metaphor, just made of bones and breath and honest tone. And I love you more for what you're not. Some people wear perfume like armor in town. You smell like soap and rain caught in your gown, and sometimes it's just subway, late shift air, the truth of getting through another week out there. I love when you start talking soft and fast. You trip on jokes, you laugh at what has passed. Your voice won't out-sing any vinyl groove, but it gets under me, it makes me move. I've watched them sell divine like it's a cure, a face that never sweats, a love that never asks. But you're not here to play that role for me, you're here to last. And that's the point, that's the pull. No fairy tale, no pedestal. You walk right through the kitchen in your socks, and the world can keep its polished pretty talk. By heaven, you're the rarest kind I've known, not made to match a metaphor, just made of bones and breath and honest tone. And I love you more for what you're not. I never saw a goddess take the train, never saw one flinch at sudden rain, never saw one fold the laundry, half asleep, or hold my shaking hands and not let go of me. So let them chase a picture, let them swear it's true. I'll take the real, I'll take you. me open, how it stops the clocks by heaven. You're the rarest kind I know. No false compare, no borrowed glow, just made of flesh and stubborn hope. And I love you more for what you are. Your feet on the floorboards keep time with my doubt, and somehow that's enough. I grew up where the street signs lied, where safe was a word you learned to say quiet. No one handed me a map that fit my hands. No mirror said, here, this is how you stand. So I watched the older girls fold up their fear. I watched my mother make groceries last a week longer, and I stole that kind of math, turning almost into enough. They called it luck when I didn't break, like my bones didn't have a vote. But I was busy building a place to breathe out of whatever wouldn't burn. Come celebrate with me, not the finish line, just the fact I'm here. I'm balanced on this railing, sky above, dirt under, one hand gripping the other so I don't disappear. Come celebrate with me. Every ordinary day, something came to take me out and went home empty anyway. I was born into other people's rules, into rooms where my name sounded like a challenge. Brown skin, girl voice, they tried to turn both down. Teachers talk past me, boys laugh like they own the air. And I learned to take up space without asking permission first. If I looked for a model, all I found were warnings, so I made a new outline with my own shaking light. Come celebrate with me, not the finish line, just the fact I'm here. I'm balanced on this railing, sky above, dirt under, one hand gripping the other so I don't disappear. Come celebrate with me. Every ordinary day, something came to take me out and went home empty anyway. I've been tired, I've been hungry, I've smiled through it at the checkout line. I've walked home fast with my keys in my fist, prayed in the bathroom where no one would listen, and still I kept my name, I kept my laugh, I kept my yes, my no, my not today. Come celebrate with me. I stitched a life from scraps and kept it warm. I'm balanced on this railing, sky above, dirt under, one hand gripping the other, through the wind, through the storm. Come celebrate with me, not because it's pretty, not because it's easy, but because each day it tried to end me, and it didn't get me. Won't you celebrate with me? I don't know where put it when it shows up like this? Sadness had instructions, bandage, salt and thyme, something solid to lean on, a bruise you can call mine. But lately joy just circles like laundry on a line. No way to it, no warning, no reason, no design. I keep reaching for a railing, there isn't one to find. So I stand here in the open and let it change my mind. 'Cause happiness don't need a witness, don't need a name, don't need a vow. It can land on a neighbor's rooftop, start singing, and it's gone somehow. I don't chase it, I don't cage it, I don't tell it to stay. If it comes, I let it come. If it goes, I'm okay. I used to have a treehouse, 2 boards and a crooked door. Now I'm over trucks and gravel and somebody's drill at 4. Still my coffee tastes like mercy, still the peaches split just right. And even with the dust and everything, something in me feels bright. The sink is full of dishes, the record skips its part. I sweep around the corners and it sweeps me where I start. 'Cause happiness don't need a witness, don't need a reason to allow. It can land on a neighbor's rooftop, start singing, then it's gone somehow. I don't chase it, I don't cage it, I don't tell it to stay. If it comes, I let it come. If it goes, I'm okay. Maybe everything's alive here, the table, the towel, the worn out chair. Maybe they wake up full of chances, like they've been waiting in the air. And I'm not the one who made it, I am not the one who earned. I'm just a set of hands that happen to be open when it turns. No room big enough to hold it, so it spills through my fingers, into doorways, into strangers, into the words I don't say. 'Cause happiness don't need a witness, and I'm done keeping score somehow. Like the sky holds up the moon without saying, look what I did now. So I raise my empty palms, let it move the way it moves. And whatever I touch after gets a little of it too. I take no credit, I just carry it a minute, then it carries me. Caught a ride with a stranger on a bus that smelled like dust and sun. He had a postcard in his pocket from a place where nothing runs. Said out past the last cell tower, where the highway gives up clean, there's a set of stone legs standing like they're waiting to be seen. We walked until the heat went quiet, till our footsteps sounded loud. And there it was, an empty ruler, head in pieces in the ground. A mouth that learned to curl at people, a brow trained into blame. remembered anger even after it forgot the name. And I thought about the way we pose like we can outstare time, how every promise that we carve turns brittle in the wind. So go on, build your monument, write your title in the sand. Say you're bigger than the weather, say you're safer than a hand. But the years don't ask permission, they don't care who took the throne. All that's left is open silence and a pedestal of stone. There was writing on a slab face down, half buried by the drift, boasting like a billboard does before the market makes its shift. King of kings, it dared the skyline like it couldn't ever end. Now the only thing that answered was the dry and patient wind. I pulled my phone out of habit, no signal, just a glare. And it hit me how we beg to last, how we beg to be up there, how we stack our little victories, how we chase a public win, till the sand starts taking corners off the sharpest parts of him. Maybe the sculptor knew the secret, knew the grin was just a mask, knew the hunger under marble, knew the cost of every ask. Maybe love is what survives us, not the names we try to crown, not the loud rehearsed command, just the way we lay it down. So go on, build your monument, write your title in the sand. Say you're bigger than the weather, say you're safer than a hand. But the years don't ask permission, they don't care who took the throne. All that's left is open silence and a pedestal of stone. Nothing beside remains, just the long level land. Sirens fade into the rain, street lamps hum like tired wires. I trace a paw print that won't stay and watch it lift itself higher. They call him Hidden Paw, like it's a joke the city tells, a name you say in precinct halls when no one else is well. Evidence goes missing from the table, from the tray the camera feeds, all glitch and snow the minute he walks away. I've seen the tape, a ginger blur, too tall, too thin to miss, but every frame is empty where his face is supposed to sit. And every cup with coffee breath swears up and down it's true. You get there fast, you kick the door, there's nothing there to prove. Basement, rooftop, fire escape, check the vents, check the air, say it twice and still it's fake. My cavity wasn't there. My cavity, no one moves like that. He breaks the rules you live by, then he's gone before you blink. My cavity, laughing through the cracks, leave the room to chase the noise, come back and find your missing things. If you're standing in the wreckage, if the glass is everywhere, say his name into your radio. My cavity wasn't there. He wears respect like Sunday clothes, like he pays his rent on time, plays cards behind the deli, wins with hands that aren't quite mine. A domed head full of quiet plans, I sunk like borrowed sleep, whiskers bent, coat full of dust, like he's been skipping weeks. He sways his head from side to side, is slow and sideways grace, like he's half asleep in daylight sight, but he's counting every face. I followed him past corner stores, past taxis, past the park, then lost him in a doorway that was painted shut and locked. Alley station, empty stare, look down hard, look up high. You can swear he's right in front of you, and still you can't say why. Cavity, no one moves like that. He breaks the rules you live by, then he's gone before you blink. Cavity, laughing through the cracks. Leave the room to chase the noise, come back and find your missing things. If you're standing in the wreckage, if the glass is everywhere, say his name into your radio. My cavity wasn't there. Treaty gone from a briefcase, plans gone from the screen. A scrap of paper on the steps, like it was always meant to be seen. They blame him on the morning news, they blame him after lunch, but he's miles away, calm as stone, licking cream off his thumbs. And all the petty thieves you've caught, the ones with dirty paws, they're only running errands for the one nobody saw. He doesn't need a getaway car, doesn't need a loaded gun. He just leans back and pulls a string and makes the whole thing run. So here I am at 2 a.m., filling forms I'll never file, writing unknown suspect again, trying not to lose my mind. A cat can't run a city, right? That's what we like to say. But every time the locks are changed, he chooses other ways. I hear him in the quiet part where doubt starts to speak. Not evil like a movie, just smarter than the weekend. If I ever catch his eyes, I know what I'll learn, that certainty's a fragile thing and lessons always burn. My cavity, no one moves like that. He breaks the rules you live by, then he's gone before you blink. My cavity, clean hands, dirty track. You can hold a badge up to the world, but doesn't make it stick. You're standing in the wreckage if the glass is everywhere. Say his name like a warning prayer. My cavity wasn't there. Basement, rooftop, open air. Once again, I'm at the scene, I'm holding proof. My cavity wasn't there. Don't let the record say we were asleep. I was at the kitchen table, phone face down, news talking loud from the other room. A siren cut through the open window, and the dog wouldn't settle, pacing the floor. You said, turn it off. I said, I can't. Like watching a pot boil over and calling it weather. We saw it in the subtitles, heard it in the way our names got smaller. We tasted metal in the tap water, kept swallowing anyway. So don't let them say we didn't know, we knew. In our bones, in the receipts, in the shaking after dinner when the house went quiet. Don't let them say we did nothing, we did something, and it still wasn't enough. I signed the petition in a checkout line, thumbprint on a glass screen, then bought another bottle, another comfort, another reason to not drive across town. You went out with a poster board, letters bleeding in the rain. Came back, horse mascara gone, hands smelling like wet cardboard and fear. Spoken meetings that ended with minutes, wrote it down and filed it. Watched it turn into paperwork while the days kept getting harder. So don't let them say we didn't know we knew. When the jokes stopped landing, when the kids asked questions we couldn't answer clean. Don't let them say we did nothing, we did something, and it still wasn't enough. Call it what it was, a pretty burn in a clear jar. We held it up like proof, right by it, posted by it, praised the warmth on our faces. And it kept taking, kept taking. We warmed our hands, we watched it spread. The history books write this. We live by the burn, we called it beautiful. And it burned. Rain on the porch rail, soft as a warning. Cars hiss by like they're late for forgiving. I'm counting my breaths like loose change in my pocket, trying to learn the trick of staying. The crabapple out back is showing off again. Fuchsia little mouths in a wet wind. And next door that cherry tree acts like it owns the whole block. Pink everywhere, messy and proud, like it's not afraid to be seen. But it's not the bright stuff that breaks me, not the fireworks of spring. It's what comes after the show, when the street's covered in it. It's the green that gets to me, the slow, steady yes. After the pedals turn to pulp on the sidewalk, after the phone stays silent, after the hard month does what it does. The branches don't argue, they just start again. A small new leaf opening, like a hand that didn't think it could. I've been living in half-finished days, dishes in the sink, laundry in a chair, a calendar with squares I won't look at, and a laugh I can't quite reach. I tell myself I'm fine in the mirror, I say it like I'm paying a bill. Then the yard changes its mind about winter without asking permission, like it knows something I don't, or refuses to forget it. It's the green that gets to me, the slow, steady yes. After the pedals turn to pulp on the sidewalk, after the phone stays silent, after the hard month does what it does. The branches don't argue, they just start again. A small new leaf opening, like a hand that didn't think it could. Patient and plain, no big announcement, no rescue, no grand plan, just a skin of green over the dead. I swear I can hear it in the limbs. Not brave, not loud, just true. Fine, and give it here, all of it. I'll carry you through. Yeah, the green that gets to me, not pretty real. A return to the strange idea of keeping on with the mess of us, with the hurt and the empty. I don't know how to fix it, but I can open my hand the way the tree does and take it all. Rainies in up street shining clean, leaves coming in one by one by one. I'm still here, still here, still here. I used to call you scenery, a quick green shape from the bus, like a postcard that never knew my name, just something passing us. But up close there's history in the lines, in every knot and split, like somebody tried to leave a note and the weather kept on it. April hangs new banners on your arms, winter takes them back, and I keep learning the hard way what I can't get back. 'Cause a tree ain't just a background thing, not just something tall and still. It's the part of me that doesn't move when everything else will. If you press your ear against the grain, you can hear where I've been. There's bark under my fingernails from trying to hold it in. We carved our names behind the park with a key we shouldn't have had. Laughed like we owned the afternoon, then took the last train back. Now the bench is gone, the paint's all peeled, the swing set squeaks and bows, and the branch that held our cheap love songs is an empty hook right now. People say time heals, like it's simple, like it's one clean cut, but you keep standing there, refusing to forget too much. 'Cause a tree ain't just a background thing, not just something tall and still. It's the part of me that doesn't move when everything else will. If you press your ear against the grain, you can hear where I've been. There's bark under my fingernails from trying to hold it in. Some nights I come by after work, phone dead, pockets turned. I put my forehead to your trunk like a person who never learned how to say I'm lonely out loud, so I let the silence do it. Your leaves don't clap, you don't agree, you just live right through it. More than a shape against the blue, more than a sketch in the air. You're proof I had a place to go, even when no one's there. 'Cause a tree ain't just a background thing, not just something tall and still. It's the part of me that doesn't move when everything else will. Yeah, you don't fix me, you don't speak, you don't promise I'll win. But there's bark under my fingernails, and I'm still here, listening. Very still, and I'm the one still living in it. Mm-hmm.
I could have called you summer, but that word don't hold you right. Summer gets cocky, then it burns out by the time the city changes lights. I've watched May get kicked around by wind that doesn't care who's in bloom. I've watched blue skies flip on a dime and leave the whole day in a mood. I've had pretty things go missing when the calendar decides. A cold front through an open window, a silence you can't rewind. But you stay even, like you don't flinch at the season. Some days the sun's too loud, some days it barely shows. Everything sweet has an end date, everybody knows. So I'm writing you stubborn, black ink that won't run. If the weather turns rough, if the years try to come for us, so let time talk, let it dry. I'll keep you alive in the lines when our photos start fading and the paper gets thin. You'll still be here the way you've always been. I've seen beauty get traded for busy, seen forever get said like a joke, seen perfect get bent by bad timing, by chance, by a careless word spoke. But when you laugh at the sink, hair up t-shirt and bare feet on tile, it hits me, this is a thing that's gonna outlast the miles. I don't want you trapped in a moment that can't pay its rent, so I'm building a home out of sentences. If death shows up bragging, acting like it owns the street, tell it we moved upstairs where it can't reach. Cause I'm writing you stubborn, in black ink that won't run. If the weather turns rough, if the years try to come for us, so let time talk, let it dry. I'll keep you alive in the lines when our friends stop calling. When the party's done, you'll still be here, more than a season, more than the sun. Years from now, a stranger on a late train finds this page tucked in a used book spine. They don't know your voice, don't know your face, but they'll feel what I meant when I called you mine. And as long as lungs keep working, as long as somebody reads, you won't be gone, you'll be. I'm writing you stubborn, in black ink that won't run. Let the whole world change clothes, let the headlines come and go, let the sky do what it does, let the gardens give up. I'll keep you warm in the line, so long as people love, so long as people live. This little song will keep giving what it can give. When the weather turns rough, when the years try to come for us, you'll still be here, proofread in August. Yeah, that's you, still here. Yeah, not today. Yeah, I don't need the calm room yet. Not this month, not the clean eggs and not the folded hands. I'm still chewing on a fake deal lunch. Paper plates, plastic prayers, promised lands. They sell you peace like it's buy one, get one free. Poppy on the counter, name on a tag, but I'm not checking out while there's still a key. Warm in my pocket and a pulse in the bag. They say in the ground you'll finally get rest. No rent, no alarms, no bad news feed. But I've got one small life on a short-term lease, and I'm gonna use it like I mean it. Don't box me up in quiet. Done being loud. Let me love somebody badly. Let me laugh in a crowd. Let me carry my anger like a cup that won't spill. Let me get up, get hurt, get better still. If the end is a house with the lights turned off, I'll stay in the hallway while I can. 'Cause time to live is a thin, thin cloth, and I'm pulling it over my shoulders again. I've seen that forever room on a Sunday drive, rows of names like a filing cabinet. Everybody's sleeping like sleep solves life, like silence is the same as a settlement. Sure, it's quiet there. No hunger, no flood, no fire in the wires, no sirens at dawn, no mouthful of last words, no taste of blood, no calls you don't answer 'cause you can't go on. And I get it, sounds good when you're tired, when the world keeps taking and taking. But I'm stubborn, I want the messy part, even when it's breaking. Locks me up in quiet, I'm not done being loud. Let me love somebody badly, let me laugh in a crowd. Let me carry my anger like a cup that won't spill. Let me get up, get hurt, get better still. If the end is a house with the lights turned off, I'll stay in the hallway while I can. 'Cause time to live is a thin, thin cloth, and I'm pulling it over my shoulders again. I want morning breath and burnt toast, a bus that's late, a joke that lands, a friend who calls me out then pulls me close, new blisters on my old plans. I wanna say I'm sorry and mean it, I wanna say I love you first. I wanna feel the whole damn minute, not just survive it, earn it. So don't box me up in quiet, I'm not done being loud. Let me dance with my failures, let me stand my ground. Let me take the pain with the smile, both real. Let me bruise, let me heal, let me feel. Yeah, the end is a house with the lights turned off, and one day I'll understand. But time to live is a thin, thin cloth, so I'm wearing it while I can. Not today.
Windshield wipers keeping time, I hum to keep my ribs in line. A white room, a paper sheet, adults talking over my small feet. They said let's cut, let's brace, let's fix what won't behave. But my parents chased the gentler ways, hands on pressure counting days, and slowly my back quit holding its breath like that. Pre-dawn she'd start the car, coffee cooling in the cup. I'd watch the miles from the passenger side, trying not to take up too much space. She'd say, sing me something while we drive, give the road a reason to be kind. So I filled the cabin up like it was my job, like it was enough. I didn't know what it cost her, I only knew I stayed dry. I thought the sky just missed me, I thought storms were shy. But love is practical, love is quiet, love will stand there and get soaked through, and hand you the only coat in the car, like it's nothing, like it's what you do. Like it's what you do. 45 minutes there and back, middle to Rock Road on a map. Her turn signal clicking like a metronome. I sang the radio, I sang my own. I sang to make her laugh on days when she didn't have a lot to say. And if my voice sounded freer after, I never asked what tightened in hers at school I'd run ahead, not noticing who kept pace. Assuming rides appeared, assuming time got made. She'd brush my hair at stoplights, check the mirror, check my face, and I mistook her steady hands for something that just happens, like weather, like grace. I didn't know what it cost her, I only knew I stayed dry. I thought the sky just missed me, I thought storms were shy. But love is practical, love is quiet. Love will stand there and get soaked through, and hand you the only coat in the car, like it's nothing, like it's what you do. Keys in my fist, parking ticket on the dash. Another appointment, another how's it feeling, another careful laugh. I'm singing with the sad song, because the silence feels too loud. And at a crosswalk I see it, a mother shrugging out of her raincoat, wrapping it around a kid. No speech, no lesson, just the cloth against weather, and it hits me like cold water. All those years I walked around amazed at my own dry shoulders. I didn't know what it cost her, I only knew I stayed dry. I called it luck, I called it normal, I let the years go by. Love is practical, love is quiet. It doesn't ask to be seen, it just steps between you and the storm, and takes what it means. So if I'm singing now, it's different, not to fill up empty air. It's to say I'm finally noticing what you wore for me out there. And I'm trying to learn how to carry someone the way you carried me.